UK Parliament. Tories now push for national inquiry into the Pakistani men-run child rape gangs. President-elect Donald Trump rules out military action to take control of Greenland, even as France warns Donald Trump against threatening the sovereign borders and territories of the EU countries. And NDTV World at the 18th annual Pravasi Bharatiya Diwas, where honoring Indian diaspora's heritage takes center stage. We get you the voices that matter from Pravasi Bharatiya. All right, the big story that we are now first tracking on India Global comes in from, well, the repeated violence against Bangladeshi minorities is something that has been resonated not just in India but around the world. And latest is that US Congressman Radha Krishnamurthy has spoken about it, and he has said so in no uncertain terms. In fact, the rights of minorities in Bangladesh is now a key concern, and as the new session of the US Congress starts in the new session in 2025, Indian American Congressman has raised his voice against the violence and persecution that Hindus and minorities in Bangladesh are facing. In fact, he has also said that protecting them is now important as the world is watching. Remember, this has been going on since 5th of August. The question now is that with Donald Trump set to come in just less than a fortnight, key members of Donald Trump's administration, Tulsi Gabbard, Donald Trump himself, have raised this issue in the past. Will this now increase the clamour, make way for action is the key question. Radha Krishnamurthy is not a Republican, but there's clamour growing, and that's the question that we are putting out and raising, that will this finally mean that there'll be justice for Hindus as far as Bangladesh is concerned. Listen in to what Congressman had to say.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to speak out against the violence and persecution of Hindus and other religious minorities in Bangladesh. During Bangladesh's War of Independence in 1971, an estimated 300,000 to 3 million people were killed, mostly Hindus. Hindus in Bangladesh continue to be targeted today, with their homes and businesses being destroyed and their temples vandalized. Since the ousting of the former Prime Minister last August, these attacks have increased again, with over 2,000 incidents reported in August alone. I've engaged with the State Department and called for action in upcoming Senate confirmation hearings, but we must do more. I urge my colleagues to act now to protect Bangladesh's religious minorities. The world is watching, and we cannot let history repeat itself.
Indeed, the world is watching and more needs to be done. In fact, staying with Bangladesh, more updates coming in. 96 people's visas have been, passports have been revoked by the government due to their alleged involvement in the killings that have taken place since the 5th of August turmoil that has gripped Bangladesh under Mohammad Yunus's government. Even as there are updates coming in that India has reportedly extended the visa of Sheikh Hasina, who's been in the country, as I said, since last August, including that she may remain indicating that she may remain in New Delhi despite Dhaka's 2 arrest warrants against her and the extradition request. Remember, there's been no verbal, so on and so forth, but New Delhi is quite firm on this, even as Mohammad Yunus's posturing continues on this issue. All right, turning attention now to the other big story that we are tracking, which is the latest coming in from Pakistan. Remember, the last 1 year, all that one has seen is showdown between Imran Khan's government, and Imran Khan's party and Shehbaz Sharif's government. It has taken unprecedented levels since the February election last year, with Imran Khan said was stolen from him. During the entire year, while he was jailed, there were repeated instances when his supporters took to the streets. Imran Khan has been jailed for what many believe is a sham case. There are now updates coming in that Imran Khan's party and the government, they've been having talks, and those back channel talks may lead to some conclusion. Which way that will go will have a huge bearing on Pakistani politics and, more importantly, that region as well. Let's get in our guest this evening, Imtiaz Gul, who's a senior journalist from Pakistan, and Prabhu Dayal, former ambassador and former Indian consul of Karachi. Good evening, both of you, joining me on India Global. Let me start with you, Pastor Dayal, which is that two rounds of talks have held so far, and Imran Khan has been offered house arrest. That's what his sister says. Do you think this could really cut ice, or do you think this is just probably the beginning of more talks between Imran Khan and Shehbaz Sharif's government?
Well, thanks for having me on your show. I've seen media reports that Alima Khan, the sister of Imran Khan, said that the former prime minister was offered a deal by the authorities regarding his transfer from the jail in Rawalpindi to his residence in Bangala. Now, I think Pakistan continues to be in a state of political turmoil. And I'm extremely honored to be in this discussion with Mr. Imtiaz Gul, whose writings and videos I follow very regularly. Now, Mr. Gul posted a video just yesterday in which he narrated how the Pakistan Supreme Court has raised a basic question as to whether the Army Act supersedes the Supreme Court and the Constitution itself. And Mr. Gul has narrated how the Pakistan Supreme Court said that laws cannot be amended retrospectively to target one individual. And that individual, of course, is Imran Khan. And he is being targeted by the authorities in a very, very relentless and ruthless manner. Now, over 150 cases have been filed against Imran Khan, though the judiciary is not ruling in favor of them. And as Mr. Gul has described, one of the cases is the Toshakhana case, but the Islamabad High Court has dismissed the charges against Imran Khan and Bushra Bibi, saying that that the non-submission of a jewelry set in the Toshakhana does not warrant a criminal case. Now, there is no doubt that Imran Khan is not the sort of person who will remain silent about what he sees as atrocities against him. In fact, he is not being silent. He has filed a petition in the court of Islamabad in which he has said that he's being denied basic rights which are guaranteed to him under the jail manual and other applicable laws. And he's also said that the jail authorities are subjecting him to inhumane treatment. So I think there is some talk of a deal, but the way things are, I don't think
Hold your thought there, sir. Hold your thought there, sir. Let me get in Imtiaz Gul as well on this. Mr. Gul, your thoughts on what is unfolding right now in Pakistan. Before I even ask you whether Imran Khan will be freed or whether there's going to be some sort of a negotiated settlement between the two sides, how do you read the posturing that's taking place, offering a house arrest only for a lot of reports to suggest it's been taken back? How do you see the present situation in Pakistani politics?
Yeah, first, thank you for taking me in your show, and I didn't realize that somebody with the level of Ambassador Prabhu Dayal is following my vlogs. So it's a great pleasure to hear. Thank you very much for that. As for Imran Khan's, this is the circumstances around Imran Khan. I mean, it's very clear that right now the entire state apparatus is dealing with a person who would probably prefer to remain or die in jail rather than cutting a deal with the authorities, just because what he has done so far is insisted on the release of all the PTI leaders and workers who have been either sitting in jails convicted or are awaiting their convictions. So he has said that my release comes last of all. So this is a predicament that I think the government here is dealing with, that despite all the efforts, direct or indirect, despite all the messaging, Imran Khan has stood his ground. And apparently I feel the government is getting unnerved a little bit ahead of the new American president, Donald Trump, taking oath on the 20th January, followed 2 days later by a congressional hearing that is which will be very unprecedented. A
Yes.
congressional hearing to discuss what transpired on the night between the 26th of November and the 27th, when the thousands of PTI workers had gathered in Islamabad, and in the dark of the night after switching off lights, they were confronted with live ammunition, with bullets, with tear gassing. So this hearing, I think,
Mr.
perhaps
Gul, you
is
raised a
unnerving.
very important point, sir. You've raised a very important point, sir, about the possibility of this getting impacted with Donald Trump's administration starting in less than a fortnight. Ambassador Dayal, you want to come in on that how big a factor are these extraneous factors in what is happening in Pakistan right now?
You know, the establishment in Pakistan is undoubtedly concerned about the fact that Donald Trump will take a tough stance in regard to the sort of happenings in Pakistan, including, of course, the detention of Imran Khan. Because Imran Khan, in his petition, has categorically spoken about how he's being denied the opportunity to make phone calls to his children who are residing in the United Kingdom, and how his personal doctor is being not allowed to visit him. So this hampering of human rights of a detainee of the stature of Imran Khan is bound to attract the attention of the incoming establishment in Washington, and certainly the Pakistan authorities are concerned about it. And let me go back to Mr. Imtiaz Gul. Let me tell him that I watch his videos and read his articles on a regular basis, because he is an outspoken champion of human rights, and I like the detailed manner in which he deals
becoming a bit of a fan club, and I like that for a change. I like that for a change, that my guests are not at each other's throats, and it's so heartwarming to actually have that. But
I hope
very
it's not
quickly, it's a
disappointing
question
for you.
I want to put up to both of you. And let me start with you, Mr. Gul, which is that, this back and forth between Shehbaz Sharif's government and Imran Khan has been going on for almost a year now. The fact that there are now negotiations and back-channel talks indicate that there is progress. Do you share that view, or do you think this is just cat and mouse that is going to happen and may continue?
I think the contacts continue at two levels. One is in front of the cameras, in front of the public, and the other one is behind closed doors. And what has happened in front of the cameras publicly has become evident a while ago with the press conference by governmental advisor Rana Sanaullah, the former Interior Minister. And he probably conveyed the sentiment of the government following Imran Khan's statement on X, on Twitter, in which he equated Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif with an orderly of a general, General Asim Muniz. So that was maybe a little below the belt. So this is, the party has taken offense, and Rana Sanaullah went public with a big press conference on this. And this basically, I think, has brought the talks to a halt. That's because this is what the defense minister also said, that with this statement by Imran Khan, in which he has taken on all of these stakeholders, this process has come to basically a standstill. However, whether the real back-channel diplomacy also comes to an end, I'm not sure.
Remains to be seen. All right, I have to take a break on that note. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on what is really turning out to be a cat and mouse show as far as Pakistani politics is concerned. Viewers, we slip into a break. We come back with more stories on the other side. Stay with us.
What's wrong with the car?
It's okay, lads. I'm with the AA.
Ah.
Bombay mix.
Because the AA has more expert patrols across the country, you'll be back on the road in no time. No wonder more people choose the AA. Join today.
Hi, it's Phoebe from Auto Trader's monthly electric car giveaway, and we're pleased to say that you've won a brand new electric car.
just a dream, honestly. It really is a dream. Oh my God. Me and my boyfriend talk about the auto trader competition every single month. I was waiting for the know you haven't won.
Time's up, fad diets. Life's too short to just eat cabbage soup. With its combination of medication, digital tracking and coaching, join the weight loss revolution with Voi.
This baby bear is terrified. Torn from her mother's paws at a tender age. They will force her to live alone in a tiny, filthy cage, like so many bears driven mad by loneliness, rubbing their wounds raw against the bars, suffering cruelly day after day, year after year, just for people's entertainment. Four Paws found little Potap crammed into a tiny, squalid cage. He'd been there for almost 9 years, lonely and isolated. There are so many more young bears who need your help. Please call 0800 038 0455 or text CUB3 to 78866 and give £2 a month to help rescue them. Every month, your £2 could help us free more bears, help give bears the veterinary care they need, and help them live happy, healthy lives in the freedom of our natural sanctuaries. Call 0800 038 0455 or text CUB3 to 78866 and give £2 a month and help Four Paws free bears from agonizing torture. Please, don't leave these bears to suffer for a single day more.
Family life. It's made of ups and downs, and those little moments. But should the unthinkable happen to you? Life insurance from Legal & General can help look after monthly bills, the roof over their heads, childcare costs, and most importantly, your family. Because no one protects more families in the UK than us. Premiums start from £5 a month and they never rise. Plus there's a £120 gift card after you apply. Legal & General. Ensure life goes on.
Welcome back. You're watching India Global. It's now time to turn to some other big stories that are coming in from around the world. First up, in the UK, stormy session in Parliament where the UK faces a dramatic clash over the fate of a national inquiry into the child grooming gangs. In fact, barely hours from now, Tory MPs are set to push for an official probe into the horrific abuse of thousands of young girls by predominantly Pakistani origin gangs. Prime Minister Keir Starmer has instructed his party to block the motion which has been tabled by Tories leader Kemi as part of the Children's Wellbeing and Schools Bill. Starmer, under intense pressure from both the Conservatives and social media attacks from billionaire Elon Musk, has vowed to block the inquiry. Meanwhile, Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philip has termed Starmer's refusal a moral cowardice, saying it risks perpetuating a cover-up. But the UK government maintains that more investigations are unnecessary, with Home Secretary announcing new legislation to protect children. As tensions rise, today's vote could have profound implications for both child protection and the political landscape in the UK, as MPs face an agonizing choice between protecting vulnerable children and loyalty. All right, turning attention now to the latest unfolding in Donald Trump. Well, Trump tracker really. US President-elect Donald Trump has escalated his expansionist rhetoric, but he has said that he will not rule out using any military coercion to take control of either Greenland or the Panama Canal. Trump has issued threats against several US partners. On Tuesday, he floated using economic force to actually annex Canada, though officials in those nations have staunchly pushed back, including Conservative Party leader Pierre Poilievre. He also proposed renaming the Gulf of Mexico as, well, guess what? Gulf of America. Responding to Trump's recent comments, France has warned that the president-elect should not threaten sovereign borders of European countries. Meanwhile, Trump's eldest son, Donald Trump Jr., flew to Greenland's capital on what he called a private visit shortly after the comments. He remained a few hours and said he did not intend to meet government officials Watch this report to understand Trump's expansionist plans and how it could actually rock the world.
This is not the new map of the United States. This is another instance of Donald Trump hinting that Canada could be taken into US territory. Sending shockwaves across the globe, the map shows the whole of Canada as part of the US. The US-Canada boundary is the world's longest between two countries. It was established in treaties dating back to the founding of the US in the late 1700s. Trump claimed the US spends billions of dollars protecting Canada, while criticizing imports of Canadian cars, lumber, and dairy products.
As you said, you were considering military force to acquire Panama and Greenland. Are you also considering military force to annex and acquire Canada?
No, economic force, because Canada and the United States, that would really be something. You get rid of that artificially drawn line, and you take a look at what that looks like, and it would also be much better for national security. Don't forget, we basically protect Canada.
Canadian leaders have so far showed a united front against Trump's rhetoric, with outgoing Prime Minister Justin Trudeau saying there's no chance Canada would become part of the US. Opposition leader Pierre Poilievre took to X, saying that Canada will never be the 51st US state.
You know something, to the president, I'll make him a counteroffer. How about if we buy Alaska, and we'll throw in Minnesota and Minneapolis at the same time?
The rhetoric in the Trump camp doesn't stop with US President-elect. One of his closest advisors, Elon Musk, has trained his sights on Europe, setting off alarm bells across the continent. He's endorsed the far-right party Alternative for Germany, demanded the release of jailed UK anti-Islam extremist Tommy Robinson, and called UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer an evil tyrant. Musk's online behavior has become a cause of concern for many, from politicians to analysts.
He's clearly started to use that platform a bit like, an old-style newspaper mogul would in days of old. Increasingly started to assemble a group of different right-wing influencers, many of them with large followings, and presenting their evidence as a basis for his interventions into European politics, whether it's Germany.
These recent statements from the Trump team have ruffled many feathers and created a lot of anxiety. Trump seems to also have his eyes on Greenland and the Panama Canal. All eyes now on the 78-year-old to what steps he would take to fulfill his extraordinary promises. With Vishal Vivek, Bureau Report, NDTV.
All right, update coming in. Maldivian Defence Minister is on a 3-day visit to India, aimed at strengthening bilateral ties amidst a thaw in relations between the two countries. In fact, this marks his first trip to India since President Moizu's pro-China administration took office last year. Since then, ties changed, and ties, in fact, after nose-diving, have also recovered when Moizu also made a recent visit to India. In fact, in his meeting with the Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, India reiterated its commitment to enhancing military cooperation under the Neighbourhood First policy, assuring continued support for the Maldives. The talks focused on a range of issues, including training programs, joint exercises, and the supply of defence equipment to bolster the Maldives National Defence Force. This visit comes over 8 months after India withdrew its military personnel from the Maldives, following a request from President Moizu, and signals a potential shift in the country's security ties with India, which have improved in the last couple of months. All right, Los Angeles has declared a state of emergency after wildfires have exploded over 2,900 acres and forced tens of thousands of people to evacuate. Millions of people in California are under a red flag warning, meaning there is an extreme fire danger. Officials say strong winds and dry weather fueled the fire, which destroyed multiple buildings and injured several people, including a firefighter.
The population threatened is approximately 25,748. Households threatened is approximately 10,367. Structures threatened are approximately 13,208. At this point, we feel very blessed at this point that there's no injuries that are reported. We do have reports of multiple structures that are damaged.
All right, on that note, we slip into a very short break. We come back with our special edition of India Global from Bhubaneswar, where we get you the diaspora voices from around the world and what they signify for India going forward. Stay with us.
No child should suffer the torture of trachoma, but so many are in pain right now. Nananga's lashes have turned inwards. They rip and tear away at his eyes. Pamelo's sight could be gone forever. He's just 3 years old. Kofanga screams for his mother. His eyes are so infected that he can't even see her. For so many children in the world's poorest countries, trachoma is torture. It's a painful infection often spread by flies, and it's destroying children's eyesight. But it could be stopped if you help today. By calling 0800 038 4926 and giving £1 a week to Sightsavers, you can help make sure children get the treatment they desperately need. You'll help us bring them the medicines and the care that can treat infections. And that means you'll be helping to save children from the torture of trachoma and a life of blindness. Please help us reach them. Call 0800 038 4926. Text C13 to 82727 or go online and give just £1 a week now. Because we need you to help save the sight of children like Nananga. We need you to help save them from the torture of trachoma.
Step into an unforgettable year with a VIP, a very important postcode. Because in People's Postcode Lottery's February draws, players in one winning postcode will each win £12,000 every month for 12 months. Fill your calendar with the things you've always dreamed of. Sign up before midnight on the 31st of January for you and your neighbours' chance to win £12,000 every month for 12 months. Is your door in the draw?
I've been thinking, I want to plan my funeral so it feels more like a celebration. My parents always said I was born dancing. I just love it. Bhangra, disco, even line dancing. So when my time comes, I want to have music, dancing, the lot.
With over 150 years experience, you can count on Co-op Funeral Care to help you pre-plan the funeral you want. To find out more, visit Co-op Funeral Care or give us a call.
From interesting tech startups to industry-leading companies, politics, sports, culture, curry, cricket. Oh, there's so much to talk about. Like me, if you too thrive on interesting conversations, this is a show you cannot miss. Watch this space to know more about all matters and all people that make Britain what it is today. Out of Britain, with me, Radhika Iyer.
Welcome to this very special edition of India Global from Bhubaneswar. We come here because we want to talk to you about the diaspora voices that have all congregated here from every part of the world. There are over 35 million diaspora members, split between people of Indian origin and NRIs. USA, of course, contributes the largest in terms of numbers, but UAE comes a close second. But the most important thing is that the 18th edition of Pravasi Bharatiya Diwas is now not just a congregation of diaspora voices from around the world, it is attempting to be a bridge between India's ambitions and aspirations, and of course attempting to ensure that it can build partnerships with diaspora leaders who have huge prosperity and growth and voices around the world. That engagement is what India and Indian government is looking at, which is why this year's edition of Pravasi Bharatiya Diwas also talks about engaging and partnering with diaspora members for a Viksit Bharat. Listen in to what External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar said as he opened the 18th edition of Pravasi Bharatiya Diwas.
This state offers a tremendous opportunity to experience personally much of what we would be discussing in the course of the PBD. Its cultural festivals and religious and archaeological sites are a reminder why we in India consider ourselves to be a civilizational society. The new India, with 90,000 startups and 100+ unicorns, has calling cards like Drone Didi, Atal Tinkering Labs, hackathons, green hydrogen mission, or nano fertilizers. Friends, ambitious visions need strong foundations to be realized. Our collective prospects are no exception to that rule. Here again, it is critical to invest in our youth in order to achieve their full potential.
That was, of course, External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar really setting the stage for why this conference is so very important. Prime Minister Modi will be visiting this conference tomorrow, where he really lay down the roadmap of what lies ahead. A lot of progress has been made in the last decade or so, where diaspora engagement has really come to the forefront and is now a key part and cornerstone of India's foreign policy. But what next? How to really take this forward? From cultural connect to civilizational links to, of course, India's growing economic power. All of this needs to come together to ensure that diaspora members are equal partners to India's brighter, better future. And which is why I spoke to a whole host of diaspora members, those from Africa who came all the way from Congo. I also spoke to awardees who will be given an award by President Murmu on Friday. And I also spoke to some young voices, those who are actually coming and joining and participating in an MEA program, which is Know Your Country Better, Know India Better. Why are they all doing that? Why is this so important? These conversations lay down that roadmap and groundwork so very clearly for India to only build on. Take a look. I am in conversation with very illustrious members of the Indian diaspora, those who have come in from East Africa, members from Congo, members from Uganda as well. And let's try and understand from them what does it mean for them to be a member of the very vibrant, growing, prosperous diaspora community, and what does it mean to be a diaspora member from Africa, where India is significant, it's growing, and it's making its presence felt. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking out the time and speaking to me on NDTV World. Let me start with you, sir. You come from Congo. In terms of the significance of the country, in terms of the significance of the Indian diaspora in Congo.
Yes, Congo, it's like my friend Kamleshwar mentioned, is the second biggest country in Africa. As far as natural resources are concerned, it is the richest country in natural resources in the world. Until now, the significance of our Indian government was not very active, but we have seen now for the past some time, it is engaging more and more both ways, promoting in all walks of life, business, especially like our Honorable Minister just mentioned, in terms of trade, which is also very important. So it's opening up barriers. A lot of investments are now gradually coming into Congo.
And how important is the Indian community there?
in terms of size, it's not that big as I would say with the East Africa, whereas Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. Again, language is also a barrier because of being a francophone country, but all that is opening up now. So yes, it is important, and a lot of medical tourism is now happening from DRC into India, and education as well. These are the two areas that we've seen a lot of growth. The local community, the Congolese people are coming more and more now to India for education and for medical tourism.
So you've been given the award this year, the Pravasi Bharatiya Diwas award, recognition of your efforts in terms of really building up Indian diaspora's presence and also contributing to Congo. What according to you were the top three of your priorities in Pravasi Bharati going forward, and what you feel could be the areas where diaspora can contribute?
Yeah, you see, the diaspora definitely contributing very big role in Uganda. So if you say in terms of financially, 65% of the government taxes are coming from Indian businesses in Uganda. So we had a bad 1971 to 76, Idi Amin, so we can't forget him. After that, now the good thing is that the president of Uganda, current president, he has called back all the Asians who are there and giving back all their businesses, factories and houses, everything is given back. So that was a really good move. So that's why now they are seeing that the Indian diaspora coming back into Uganda, bringing the development into the country. Otherwise it went into docks. So that is the status now. We are vibrant businesses. And India, we are importing a lot of pharmaceuticals. As a pharmaceutical, I am saying, I am importing from 35 companies of Indian manufacturing companies. I am importing into all the 5 countries of the region, East Africa. And we are bringing a lot of collaboration with the Indian government and doing a lot of good things and for the development. And also we are thinking the people of Uganda, how they can benefit by staying us and giving their, our community association, 34 community associations are there, each state, everyone is doing some kind of a CSR for the development of the people.
That's actually wonderful. We have 2 people from Congo and 2 people from Uganda. And in fact, let me close that Uganda loop, which is that, you know, in terms of the contribution of the Indian community, Indian businesses to the economy is actually very significant, far more than what they are in physical numbers. What do you think is the reason? What do you think is the X factor because of which Indian community is doing so well?
Yes, first that we have the atmosphere given by the current government of Uganda and the President General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. We are free to do the business. At the same time, we are free to celebrate our festivals. We have a freedom of worship. We have a very good weather, tropical weather in Uganda. And the business community, if you look at the statistics, our Indian community population in Uganda is less than 1%, but we contribute 65% of the total tax revenue of the country. So
how did it get here? Which are the sectors where it started? Which are the businesses where Indians dominate? And which are the kind of policy measures that really opened up the routes for India to become so significant in Uganda?
Yes, our business houses are in the real estate, in the banking sector, in the education, hospitalities, and the government always welcome the Indian community with the investments because you have seen in the current G20, the Africa got the permanent recognition because of India's initiative.
And goodwill that it created.
Yes, so Africa, they are always closer to India and Indians' investment into East Africa. If we go back 1890s, our people who went there as a colonial time to build the railway, and now they are multinational corporations like Madhwani family, Mehta family. The richest man of the East Africa is Dr. Sudhir Ruparelia. After the Amin's explosion, he went back to Uganda in 1986 with the $25,000, and today he runs the biggest.
He has created an empire. Before I come to Shuklaji, I want to ask you the medal that you are wearing, if you can tell us, is this given by the Uganda government or if there's something else to it?
Oh yes, this is a Diamond Jubilee Award. Recently on the 9th October, it was our Independence Day of Uganda, and I have been awarded by the President, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the highest civilian recognition.
Wonderful. And I think that's testimony to how Indian community has been there in that country. Sir, let me then ask you about, we spoke about the civilizational and cultural connects, but I want to ask from you, as someone who works closely in that area, how important it is to further build on these cultural connects, to further build on these civilizational roots, to strengthen it further, to ensure that the connect becomes more going forward.
You see, in a Congo, basically the people who is coming from outside and they lack the country because of their culture and food and so we as a diaspora, we try to connect between the India and the Congo because we know the mentality of the both people. So on a cultural side, we just all our festival we try to do with the youngsters and the childrens and everything. Like I am saying, in last 10 years, so many Indians has come. Is a creation of the job for both local people and for the Indian people also. And as a diaspora, we are trying also to get the investment from India to Congo and whatever the Congo can do for India. Like
you're being that bridge.
Yeah, so like to send the student, the Congolese student who want to study in India, so we arrange that. Or the people who want to invest the money in Congo. So we are...
You are that connect. Okay. This is a question I want to ask all four of you, sir. And, we can be brief in that, which is that your one wish that when you come next time, 2 years later, for the 19th Pravasi Bharatiya Diwas, one wish that you would want the government listens to, that one demand, I wouldn't say demand, also something that, you would like the government to address so that what you are building on gets a fresh impetus, gets more stronger in outcome.
This year, we were invited, two of us, myself and Kamlesh Bhai, through the Indian Embassy in Kinshasa. But that's possibly one area we would like to see a bigger delegation represented here at the next PBD in the next 2 years. Because, as I said, there is a lot of opportunity, undeveloped opportunity in DRC, which needs to be taken care of. And that's why we need a bigger representation. So that's one area we would like to see a much larger number.
That's a very important point, sir. What about you, sir?
I think the same thing because, as the Pravasi Bharatiya Diwas becoming more and more recognition for the people of Uganda because of giving the awards for those one, they want to do connect it more well with this diaspora, and today we are around 5 people come from Uganda. So more and more people, what Koteche is saying, that more people has to come and participate.
Deepen the engagement.
Yeah, I can say the Congo is a virgin country. There is a lot of to do over there. So if the Indian government can bring so many projects over there, which is electricity, hydro, railway, so many possibilities there. And same time we have the people who is in the mining over there can do something here. Like Odisha Chief Minister said that there's a lot of opportunity here. So we can...
That could be the perfect connect. What about you, sir?
My wish is like in this 18th Pravasi Bharatiya, we got opportunity to explore our heritage site like Konark Temple and all. We used to see in G20 the theme, the wheel of Konark, but we have seen physically. So that excitement, we will explore more as the Honorable Minister mentioned about Dholavira. And I was there last week. So we will explore more our heritage and we are happy.
So there you had it, everything from heritage to culture to economy to business to building and creating bridges that could ensure that the Indian diaspora, which is strong, vibrant, prosperous, continues to contribute much more to India going forward. I am in conversation with Mr. Altino Alvarez, who is the Executive President of the Portugal-India Business Hub. He is of Goan descent and he thinks that, what India and Portugal could do could really change the way as far as how India views that entire region. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to NDTV. Let me start by asking you, you are from originally from Goan descent. Talk to us about your connection with India first.
Wow, good question. Because for many time I was quite lost because my parents are from Goa, I born in Mozambique. Then
You are in Portugal?
I'm in Portugal growing. From that, like 12 years ago, someone, awardee, Abdul Vakil, comes to me in my MBA. He walked through me and asked me a simple question. What group I belong? Asked me 2-3 times. I didn't catch, I didn't answer. And he said, you don't belong, you don't know which group you belong, but you belong to the Indian diaspora. From that time, it was a wow. After that, I start to work with him, and then I became a leader of the community in the business perspective. And 8 years ago, I was invited by the government of India to organize the Prime Minister Antonio Costa, that he comes 8 years ago to Pravasi to receive the award. I was in charge to organize the business delegation. From that, we think in a different way, and we start a business hub, the Portugal-India Business Hub, PBUB. Is a chamber of commerce today, but we vision as a network platform and not as a chamber as it's usual. A network platform that connects people and enlarge the business community to create awareness between the two countries. Today we are here in the Pravasi, but the days before we were in Goa to link with the business community.
So what you think is that Indian companies could make best use of Portugal's location and have a larger presence in that entire region. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Thank you for that question. And 5 centuries ago, Portugal had Goa as a commercial perspective point in the Indic. Now we are telling that India can see Portugal in the same way in the Atlantic. From Portugal, India can enter easily in Europe. That can go directly to Africa because Portugal has several Lusophone countries there. And South America also, not only for Brazil, but also the Spanish world. Also,
it could be a good hub for Indian companies. Specifically, which sectors do you think this could be most attractive for when it comes to Indian companies?
Starting the ecosystem of tech is a hub. Portugal now is a hub for unicorn companies there, and we have ecosystems that is running. But also in agriculture, near border, we have there, but also in logistics. In logistics, because the first point to address is the logistics. Nowadays, with the geopolitical conflicts, the channel, Suez Channel, can give us an opportunity to go around, work around Africa and attract ends in Portugal. From Portugal, deliver to all the Europe.
Protect what matters to you with Simply Safe Home Security. Get our Which Best Buy rated starter pack from under £200. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Quidco gives you cashback every time you shop on over 5,000 brands. It always pays to Quidco. Sign up and start saving today. Visit quidco.com.
With retirement round the corner, I want to spend more time with my family and less time worrying about the numbers. Which reminds me,
Welcome to British Seniors, the UK's #1 rated provider of over 50s life insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote.
No problem. We're proud to offer our seniors lifetime guarantee. With 100% of claims having been paid, we guarantee your premiums will never go up and that you'll speak to one of our specialists in the UK. UK residents aged 50 to 80 are guaranteed to be accepted. Depending on your age, your loved ones can get a cash payout up to £10,000.
And that money could help with funeral costs or even as a gift for the grandkids. I'll do it.
Plus, when you sign up, you'll receive a £135 gift card and free 24/7 GP advice and health services.
You got them all right. That's amazing.
Be proud to protect your loved ones with British Seniors. To get a free quote today, call our UK team on 0800 977 5808 or visit britishseniors.co.uk.
If you're homeless, you're never safe.
Tonight, too many young people like Kira will be at risk, right here on our streets. But you could help a young person find safety and begin a new future by sponsoring a room at Centrepoint.
It's more than a room. You get real support and training to help you get your life back on track.
Please search Centrepoint Room online today or call 0808 281 8001 and be the turning point for a young person like Kira. Thank you.
I'll fix him, love. Poor pet. Just shows you never know what's going to happen. Which reminds me, I need to protect the life we've built. That's why I'm looking into smart family life insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote, please. OK. You can choose a benefit amount up to £750,000, depending on your age. If you're a UK resident aged 18 to 64, you can apply with just a few health and lifestyle questions. For £250,000 of cover, the price starts at just £14.77 a month.
That's less than I thought. And it could help my husband with the mortgage.
Just like families, not all life insurance is the same. That's why we offer the Smart Family Guarantee.
That's good to know.
You'll also receive a 100% advance in the event of terminal illness and 10% cash back on your first year's premiums. That's the Smart Cashback. Plus, you'll also get your choice of a £125 gift card.
Protect the life you've built the smart way. To get a free quote today, call our specialist UK team on 0800 977 5753 or visit smartinsurance.co.uk.
As part of the Pravasi Bharatiya Diwas program outlined, there's one very important and a very interesting program that the External Affairs Ministry runs, which is Know India program. And with me are 3 out of the 40 participants of the KIP program that the External Affairs Ministry runs. Thank you so much for all of you to join me in this conversation. And let me start first of all by asking you, where are you from and why were you so interested in applying for KIP?
So I'm from South Africa, and why I applied to the KIP is I'm proudly South African, but I've always wanted to learn more about my Indian heritage. And I found out about this program and took the opportunity to apply, and I had to write a motivational letter, and I'm so grateful to be here, so blessed. It's just rich with culture. And I think for us, not knowing Hindi, not knowing our mother tongue, getting to learn, see, like step onto our Indian soil, it's something you can't explain. It's just incredible.
Wonderful feeling, incredible feeling. How do you express this and what has been your thoughts ever since you've come?
I think, as she said, it's just like getting to know the culture, embracing all of it. And again, coming to India has been a dream of mine. So thanks to Know India program, it has been successful.
And what motivated you to apply for this?
I just love my culture. I love my Indian culture, and I just wanted to come and have the feel of India itself. Yeah.
And would you then, recommend this to your friends, family, other people?
Yes, of course.
100%.
What about you? What motivated you to apply for this? And are you also from South Africa?
No, I'm from Mauritius Island in the south of the Indian Ocean. Yes. And what motivated me is that I wanted to know more about the Indian culture. That is, our ancestors came from India, and I wanted to explore the culture here in India, the food, the people, everything about India.
And so what all have you learned so far? What all have you been exposed to so far?
So far, we've been exposed to a lot of historical sites. We've been to the Gandhi Museum, which was, I think, knowing that Gandhi was also in South Africa, for us, that was very close. It was very eye-opening to see what he went through and his journey. And what we've learned, I think just learning about culture, food. The food has been a big culture shock for us.
Has it?
It has, yeah. I think we're all still getting used to it, and a lot of us actually fell sick.
Really? Was it the spices or was it the curries, hot curries?
Hot curries, spices, everything. Our bodies are not used to that. We know curry. We are Indians from South Africa, but our food is very different.
Really? It's cooked differently. I mean, we might have the same concept, but I think the way we cook it is different. The spices, I think here you'll use more like whole spices. Yeah. We use like more ground and stuff like that, and less. It is spicy to an extent, but I think here
it's more spicy here. Oh, okay. Okay. Food is an important part, but what else are you now looking forward to? As in, it's a 40-day program. What would you now look forward to in it? It's still going on, right?
Yeah, it's still going on. And we are going to Agra, to the Taj Mahal. We are going to Hyderabad. In fact, we are living in New Delhi, and then we came to Odisha, Agra,
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad.
Yeah.
And what next? What next is there on the itinerary?
Oh, it's a busy. I can't tell you verbatim what's next, but every day we have a jam-packed itinerary. And I think for me, what I'm looking forward to is just learning more. I want to connect with people. So,
do you think this kind of programs go a long way in terms of bridging any gaps or divides that may exist between the diaspora and India here?
So I can tell you one thing, we were actually discussing this on lunch, is that even though we are so different, like I'm 7th generation, he's 5 or 6 generations, we still have so much of commonality. Like we bond over music, everyone knows the same songs. We connect on a different level because we are all Indian. That's our commonality. But we come from different places and there is some sort of dilution, but not 100%. And our visions are the same. We all want to learn about our Indian heritage. We want to embrace it. We want to hold it so that we can pass it on to the next generation.
What part of your learnings in cultural history right now and tradition right now in India you would like to imbibe, whether it's your friends or family or relatives? Any specific thing that you like the most, that's most endearing?
The most for me, I think India, just temples. I don't know, but for me that hits home the hardest and it's the most special part, and I think I will remember that for the rest of my life.
This poor creature is a lion, trapped in a cold, bare cage, alone. Terribly malnourished, just skin and bone. How can anyone simply leave a lion to rot and die? Right now, there are thousands of big cats suffering the same torment, languishing in cruel cages, neglected, abandoned, left to die. Will you help Four Paws free big cats suffering around the world right now? Please call 0800 035 7798, text RESCUE to 70544, or go online and give just £3 a month. Help Four Paws cut the bars and rescue these cats from their prisons. Help us take them to our sanctuaries where they can begin to recover. You'll be setting big cats free from pain and protecting them from cruelty, letting them see the blue sky above and breathe the clean, fresh air of freedom for the first time. But they are the lucky ones. Please call 0800 035 7798, text RESCUE to 70544 to give £3 a month via your mobile phone. Because if no one cuts the bars and frees these big cats, they will die trapped and alone.
Health isn't someday in the future, it's now. It's same-day GP appointments, physio without GP referrals, cancer testing, scans and diagnosis fast. Questions for an expert at any hour about anything. Support that lasts for as long as it takes. Feeling your best every day starts today. Call or go online now for your health insurance quote.
Family life. It's made of ups and downs, and those little moments. But should the unthinkable happen to you? Life insurance from Legal & General can help look after monthly bills, the roof over their heads, childcare costs, and most importantly, your family. Because no one protects more families in the UK than us. Premiums start from £5 a month and they never rise. Plus there's a £120 gift card after you apply. Legal & General. Ensure life goes on.
I've been thinking, I want to plan my funeral so it feels more like a celebration. My parents always said I was born dancing. I just love it. Bhangra, disco, even line dancing. So when my time comes, I want to have music, dancing, the lot.
With over 150 years experience, you can count on Co-op Funeral Care to help you pre-plan the funeral you want. To find out more, visit Co-op Funeral Care or give us a call.
Hello and welcome to the Southern View. Lots lined up on the show this evening, including that big political face-off in the Tamil Nadu Assembly over the Anna Varsity sexual assault case. But first, let's take you through the headlines we're tracking this hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi descends on Visakhapatnam, holds a mega roadshow with Chandrababu Naidu and Pawan Kalyan as he lays the foundation for projects worth over 2 lakh crore. First round of the Joint Parliamentary Committee meet on the One Nation, One Election bill is over. 39 members have examined the bill. In the US, Republican Congressman Lance Gooden writes to US Attorney General against the indictment of industrial Gautam Adani, calling it quote-unquote selective action that risks damaging Washington's critical alliance with India. Congressman also asks if there was any George Soros connection to it. In Karnataka, DK Shivkumar categorically dismisses political speculation over a power tussle in the state, says the dinner politics talk is all just media speculation. Well, first up this evening, quick check of Prime Minister's visit to Visakhapatnam. It's his first visit to the state in his third term in office. Those pictures that you see on your screens are of Prime Minister's roadshow in Visakhapatnam with Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu and Deputy Chief Minister Pawan Kalyan. The Prime Minister will be inaugurating a slew of projects worth over 2 lakh crores, including a railway zone at Visakhapatnam and NTPC's integrated green hydrogen hub. Remember, industrial economy of Andhra Pradesh has been an issue of key concern. The projects are aimed at boosting north coastal Andhra Pradesh. Those pictures on your screen coming in from Visakhapatnam. Joining me is my colleague Uma Sudhir. Uma, just give us an overview of the announcements that are going to be made today, plus the significance of this visit and that roadshow in Visakhapatnam.
So the first visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Andhra Pradesh after the NDA government was formed in the state, and yes, huge announcements by the Prime Minister, all over 2 lakh crore rupees worth of projects. The biggest among them, of course, the green hydrogen hub that he has announced, and it's going to be only one of 2 centers in the country that will be operating and will be perhaps one of the very few in the world as well. So the big focus on not just the sustainable energy sector, renewable energy, you're talking about infrastructure, you're talking about road and rail as well, and employment opportunities to the extent of 1 lakh jobs is what the Prime Minister has announced just now. Very interestingly, of course, the roadshow showcased the bonhomie between the Prime Minister and the Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister, and Chandrababu Naidu actually praising Mr. Narendra Modi, fulsome praise, I must say, where he is time and again saying that this alliance is something that's going to continue in Andhra Pradesh because of the kind of unprecedented numbers that they had got. And he even did some predictions for Delhi, citing the fact that after the 2024 elections in Andhra Pradesh and the general elections as well, the BJP had done extremely well, and he said Delhi as well is going to be won by the NDA because of the leadership of Mr. Narendra Modi, and he said he is no longer to be thought of as someone who is very popular in the state or a national leader, but someone who has global stature, because everywhere you go, people are talking about Narendra Modi, he said. And he also invited Mr. Narendra Modi to come back to look at the capital project that he had inaugurated 10 years ago. And he also spoke about the Polavaram, the interlinking of rivers. That's been a favorite topic for the Prime Minister as well. So the entire messaging to convey that the double-engine Sarkar of the NDA in Andhra Pradesh is going to be working for the benefit of the people of Andhra Pradesh. Back to you.
Right, and the focus primarily on North Coastal Andhra at the moment, given the roadshow in Visakhapatnam. But stay with us, Uma. The political tussle and action in the Formula E controversy, that remains a big focus. Remember, that's in the other Telugu-speaking state of Telangana in Hyderabad. DRS leader and former minister K.T. Rama Rao will go to the Anti-Corruption Bureau to attend to the summons issued to him tomorrow. The Telangana High Court today has ruled that while his lawyer can go with him to the ACB office, he will be present while he will not be present while KT Ramarao is being questioned by the ACB officials. Remember, a few days ago there was high drama after KTR went to the ACB office and refused to be questioned by the authorities without the lawyers being present, and that caused a political showdown. So a lot of action there in that Formula E case, Uma, in Hyderabad.
Yes, indeed. So now the court has said that a lawyer can be allowed, but he will be sitting in the library, a room adjacent to the room where Mr. KTR will be questioned, and he can monitor the entire proceedings on a CCTV. And this is, of course, in response to a plea by Mr. KT Ramarao that his constitutional rights or legal rights could be violated by the investigators when he is being questioned in the Formula E case. And that's the relief that the court has granted, allowing him to take a lawyer along with him, and we understand that J. Ramchandra Rao could be the lawyer who will be going along with Mr. KT Ramarao tomorrow to the ACB office. Of course, today we saw Special Chief Secretary Mr. Arvind Kumar appear before the ACB, and we have also seen BLN Reddy, who's the A3 in the case and a retired official of the HMDA. He had appeared before the Enforcement Directorate. So KTR also expected to appear before the Enforcement Directorate on the 16th of this month, even at a time when, in fact, there's a lot of speculation whether Mr. KT Ramarao himself will be arrested in this particular case. But from their side, they're trying to say that they are going to cooperate with the investigating agency as well. In some political statements that were made today, Harish Rao, in fact, asked all the BRS cadre and leaders to stand by Mr. KTR, just the way he said KTR had stood by everyone, including the farmers who were handcuffed in Lakcherla. And KTR, from his side, in fact, said that forget about this case, I'm going to fight it. It's a simple case. We have a strong legal team and we are on strong legal ground. You focus only on exposing what he called were the unkept promises of the Congress, whether it's with regard to loan waiver or Raitu Bharosa or promises made to tenant farmers. So a lot of drama certainly expected to play out in the coming days. Back to you.
That's right. A lot of drama expected to be playing out. And as Uma just mentioned, let's just listen to what KT Ramarao had said earlier in the day.
22 లక్షల మందికి ఉత్తరం రాస్తున్నా కేసీఆర్ ఇస్తలేడు మీకు నేను ఇస్తా అన్నావు ఏమైంది అని అడగాలి ఇది మర్చిపోని కేసు ఈ కేసు నేను కొట్లాడతా మనకు మంచి లాయర్లు ఉన్నారు జోర్దార్ లీగల్ సెల్ ఉన్నది ఆ కేసు సంగతి మేము చూసుకుంటాం మీరు దాని గురించి మర్చిపోండి దాని గురించి ఆందోళన చేయాల్సిన అవసరమో బాధపడాల్సిన అవసరమో లేనే లేదు మీరు చేయవలసింది మనం చేయవలసింది బీఆర్ఎస్ పార్టీగా తెలంగాణ ప్రజలకు ఒక రక్షణ కవచంలాగా నిలబడి ఈ సంవత్సరం మొత్తం.
Well, shifting focus now to Tamil Nadu, the political exchange over the Anna University sexual assault case continued in the state under intense attack from the opposition parties. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin made a statement in the State Assembly today. He conceded that the accused in the case was a DMK supporter but was not a member of the party as alleged by the opposition. An unrelenting AIADMK continued its political offensive against the DMK government and was dressed in black as a mark of protest in the House. Yesterday, they'd carried placards inside the House. Sam Daniel with the details.
Under pressure from the opposition and allies over the alleged Anna University sexual assault case in the State Assembly, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin today conceded to the House that the accused was a DMK supporter, but categorically said he was not a party member as alleged by the opposition. He reiterated his government swiftly nabbed the accused and will take strictest of action against anyone involved.
இந்த வழக்கில் விரைந்து விசாரணை மேற்கொண்டு 60 நாட்களுக்குள்ள குற்றப்பத்திரிகையும் தாக்கல் செய்யப்படும். அதோட சிறப்பு நீதிமன்றம் மூலம் இந்த வழக்கை விரைந்து விசாரிக்க அனைத்து முயற்சிகளையும் அரசு எடுத்து குற்றவாளிகளுக்கு உச்சபட்ச தண்டனை கிடைப்பதை உறுதி செய்யும் என்பதை இந்த அவைக்கு நான் மீண்டும் உறுதியோடு தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன்.
With the principal opposition AIADMK turning up in black after displaying placards on Monday, M.K. Stalin hit back at them, referring to the infamous Pollachi sexual abuse case during the earlier AIADMK government, which the CBI is investigating now.
that issue is pending in the CBI. Okay, he is speaking about the CBI is giving a lot of reference. I am saying that CBI is not giving any report to anybody. So he is lying with his house.
Instead of what steps they have taken in their government for the safety of the women in Tamil Nadu, unnecessarily they are dragging the issue of Pollachi, and we could see that they don't have any strong merit to argue the Anna University case.
While women would have hoped the State Assembly would seriously deliberate enhancing women's safety, the state government appears to be overconfident on law and order and complacent as well. The big question, would the perpetrators be brought to justice and women's safety ensured? In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.
So what next in this intense political face-off, and more importantly, has it really had an impact on women's safety in the state, the kind of political exchange that's played out? Has it put the DMK government on a corner as far as the law and order issue is concerned? Joining me this evening, Apsara Reddy of the AIA-DMK. We'll also hope to be joined by Harish Mohammed Ibrahim, who supports the DMK in a bit, and NDTV Sam Daniel, who just filed that report and has been following those developments, joins us as well. Apsara Reddy, the Chief Minister has made a statement in the State Assembly. He's conceded that the man was a DMK supporter but not a member of the party, and that strictest of action will be taken and that charge sheet will be filed expeditiously. So what is it that you really are protesting about? Is there any particular reason for the protest by the AIDMK to continue? What's really the demand at all?
I feel it's absolutely appalling for somebody like a chief minister to distinguish between a member and a supporter and to deflect responsibility when he's in such a position of power. The chief minister should act swiftly, sternly and quickly. He doesn't need opposition to kind of mount pressure for him to arrest the person. And Rajya Sabha, a member of the DMK, has blamed the governor for the molestation and the rape. It's absolutely ridiculous that a chief minister of the state is drawing distinction between a member and a supporter. He's created an environment where the ethos of the party itself are coming into question, because if your supporter can be so brazen enough to do the act he's done, he's a 15-time accused. He's accused in 15 different cases. He should have been under watch. How is he allowed to enter a college and abuse somebody? It's supposed to be his modus operandi to kind of harass, blackmail and stalk women. So the chief minister drawing distinction between a supporter and a member itself is so unbecoming of the chief minister's chair.
Okay, you're making a strong point there. Sam Daniel, has this overall issue resulted in a situation where the DMK government, which was on a front foot so far, is on a corner as far as the state is concerned, because there are several...
We don't have a question.
Go ahead, Apsara.
Why isn't the DMK spokesperson on your channel today? Why are they running scared? They're not appearing on debates on this topic. Why can't they come and justify what the Chief Minister said in the floor of the Assembly?
Unfortunately, Apsara, each party has decided to come to television debates only when they find convenient, and it's become a standard across all political parties to boycott debates on issues that they find inconvenient, and the DMK is not an exception. We have, though, Harish, who is a DMK supporter, who will be speaking on this in a bit. But Sam Daniel, the overall impression that's been created and the opposition's offensive on the state government, how is the state government planning to deal with it at a political level?
Well, at the political level, we understand the government would expedite the investigation and then claim that they have swiftly acted, not just in terms of arresting the alleged perpetrator, but also bringing him to justice. Veera Raghav, the Chief Minister, has told on the floor of the House that he will ensure that a charge sheet will be filed in 60 days and they will ensure maximum punishment is obtained for this alleged perpetrator. But the larger worry for the ruling DMK could be the public perception this could have, because this has allegedly happened on a prestigious institute like Anna University in the heart of Chennai, where an outsider has gained access and has managed to attack a male friend of the survivor and sexually assault her. This certainly sends a kind of a worry, fear among the student community, number one, and also to parents besides the public at large. And in this kind of a scenario, one would have expected that the government would seriously deliberate on enhancing women's safety measures, would be seen to be taking this seriously. But although technically in terms of statistics, Tamil Nadu may be much, much better and lot safer for women, when this kind of an incident happens, the public would want the government to be seen to be taking it seriously and doing something concrete. There is where the government seems to be lagging behind, and this could in a sense sometimes backfire if they seem to be overconfident about law and order and not taking women's safety seriously.
Harish can join us now. Harish, the point here that's being made is that there is an overall perception of a law and order situation or worry in Tamil Nadu. Hasn't these issues put the DMK in a corner? And also, more importantly, what's being done categorically in terms of improving women's safety and campus safety is not coming out in what's turning out into more of a political exchange where you find flaws with each other rather than have a substantial debate. Harish.
No, when it comes to women's safety and an overall safety across India, Tamil Nadu stands number one when it comes to the safety and security is concerned. And that is the reason where Tamil Nadu has been standing tall in the GSDP contribution to the entire India, where most of the north has been coming to work in south, that too particular in Tamil Nadu, that too particular in Chennai, because the amenities, the safety, security for women is par excellence when it's compared to the other states when it's compared to North India. And number two, when it comes to the Anna University issue, the Chancellor is R.N. Ravi, who was an appointee and who was a BJP's political appointed. And he is the one who is not even considering to put a vice chancellor to be in place where you can have all the kind of metrics is in place. So the contributions where the lapse has happened in Anna University is directly proportionated, directly should be attributed to R.N. Ravi, who's a sitting governor, who's the chancellor, who is making stall. One second, let me finish. So he is the one who is making a stall in appointing all the VCs. Only when there is a VCs in particular universities, you can have all the checks and balances should be done. Number three, when it comes to the other issues which has been reported last 2 days before, it is directly proportionated to an ADMK cadre. And even in that particular crime, the entire culprit who has been nabbed within particular several hours. And even in Anna University crime, the culprit has been nabbed with
I want Apsara to respond to you, Harish.
One second. With the scientific technological expertise within 5 hours. So you can't blame the state government machineries when it comes to law and order.
All right, Apsara, please respond to
again,
this.
India, Tamil Nadu stands number one when it comes to safety.
1 minute, Harish, let Apsara respond.
For entire public.
Harish can keep repeating
Harish, hold on, let Apsara respond.
Harish can repeat his point over and over again. It doesn't take away from the fact that the Chief Minister of the state is deflecting the responsibility by saying he's just a supporter and not a member. Leadership must go beyond disclaimers. The Chief Minister has the police department under him. What were they doing when this guy has 15 cases on him? Why wasn't he monitored? Why was he allowed to come and blackmail many such victims? Why did the Chief Minister take so long to apply the Gundas Act on him? Why does the state have to have an outburst of protest for the CM to wake up from his slumber? This is not acceptable to blame the governor for a department which falls under the police department falls under the Chief Minister. How is a university secure? How are students secure when a stalker and a criminal and a blackmailer are allowed to enter a campus? What are the police department
Harish,
doing?
respond.
Why should they act?
No, I don't want to
you've
go
asked
ahead
a question.
into much
Harish,
more political into it. Yeah, that is what. I don't want to go into a much more political contributions into it because the crime, whatever happens to any women or to any children on any kind of abuse in Tamil Nadu soil will not be tolerated, and the state government machineries are in place and they have made sure to nab the culprits on each and every crime within the stipulated hours. We are not running a government. The state government is not like the Pollachi, Jayaraman issues where the ADMK government was silent for almost 1.5 years when the culprits, they have been safeguarding the culprits. The entire ADMK government last tenure, they have been safeguarding the culprits who the culprits are being nabbed with the stringent protest. So they don't have any moral background to go ahead and...
No, last 10 seconds each. Apsara, you respond to this and then I get another response.
Correct. The Pollachi case, the law took its course. There was instant action taken. The culprits were nabbed.
No, where? Madam, please set your facts right. Madam, please have your facts right.
Cyber security was tightened. Every member involved or accused.
I think it's becoming a case of the pot calling the kettle black. Unfortunately, the focus in this exchange has to be more on women's safety, and that's a serious concern. But points from both sides taken importantly. There are obviously political connotations to it. We'll keep a close focus on it. Thanks very much, Apsara Reddy, as well as Harish, for joining us this evening, and Sam Daniel as well for giving an overview of the situation there. From that exchange in Tamil Nadu, now to the political speculation in Karnataka. In the backdrop of speculation of political churning in the state after that New Year dinner meet hosted by State Public Works Minister Satish Jarkioli to mark the New Year, State Congress President D.K. Shivkumar has categorically denied, like Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, any political churning or changes in the state. He said all speculation is purely a media creation, and what he, the Chief Minister and the Congress leadership has said is final. At the press conference, he also said that there will be a rally on the 21st in Belagavi to make up for the convention that was interrupted due to the demise of former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. Listen in.
All it is a media created news. No one is authorized to speak anything. I am sitting here as a president. Till I am here, you please ask me. My word stands final. The ACC General Secretary word stands final. As far as the government is concerned, my CM's word stands final.
Sir, there is another media report published today which shows that you have shown your concern regarding the secret dinner parties.
It is all fake news. You don't carry on the news which someone creates or spreads.
Well, it's all fake news, he says, but in the quicksands of Karnataka politics, there's never an apolitical meal, some would say. Remember, this whole speculation started off after that dinner meet, which was attended by Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. All sections denying anything political about it, but there was speculation of a possible change in the Congress state presidentship after that dinner. Several murmurs coming out, but of course all of them dismissing it as speculation. Nihal Kidwai, my colleague, joins me on the phone line. Nihal, this buzz has been going on for the last week or so in Bengaluru. Obviously G. Parameshwara, the Home Minister, had to cancel a dinner meeting as well because the High Command said did not want to fuel any further speculation.
It is believed that after this dinner meeting, which was held in the absence of D.K. Shivkumar when he was touring Turkey along with his family, then this meeting, the dinner meet, had happened here in Bengaluru, attended by the Chief Minister. After that, it seems D.K. Shivkumar had complained to the High Command, and after that, all the leaders here got instructions, and it is believed that only after that, these such types of meetings were cancelled. I spoke to Satish Jarkioli also, who had held the dinner meeting. He said that he doesn't want to comment on this, but he also categorically said that he has no dream to become KPCC president. But when I asked that you had only held hosted that meeting and only after that the speculation has started, he said people are free to speculate whatever they want to say. But the truth is that Satish Jarkioli wants to become the state party president. This is what even many politicians don't want to speak on camera, but they believe it. And that is why he had held that meeting. But here also the power struggle is going on, as we know that who will replace Siddaramaiah when D.K. Shivkumar will take over as the Chief Minister. That is why whenever such meetings take place, such a speculation become talk of the town.
That's right, Nihal. Everyone's hungry for power and everyone's hungry for position. We'll keep a close track of the political developments in Karnataka. But that's all we have time for on the Southern View this evening. News and updates continue right here on NDTV. Thanks for watching.
No child should suffer the torture of trachoma. But so many are in pain right now. Nananga's lashes have turned inwards. They rip and tear away at his eyes. Pomelo's sight could be gone forever. He's just 3 years old. Kofanga screams for his mother. His eyes are so infected that he can't even see her. For so many children in the world's poorest countries, trachoma is torture. It's a painful infection often spread by flies, and it's destroying children's eyesight. But it could be stopped if you help today. By calling 0800 021 3925 and giving £2 a month to Sightsavers, you can help make sure children get the treatment they desperately need. You'll help us bring them the medicines and the care that can treat infections. And that means you'll be helping to save children from the torture of trachoma and a life of blindness. Please help us reach them. Call 0800 021 3925, text C7 to 82727, or go online and give just £2 a month now. Because we need you to help save the sight of children like Nananga. We need you to help.